Hello everybody, welcome back to our math lessons. Today we're going to be we're moving from chapter 15, and we're going to be looking at chapter 11, which is dealing with customary units of measurement. The first one is we're looking at lengths. So, let's take a look at the main idea. Thank you, Mrs. Yost. I will choose an appropriate customary unit for measuring lengths and convert customary units of lengths. So our new vocabulary, that would be length, customary units, foot, inch, yard, mile, and then convert. All right. Again, in your math books, if you're following along, everybody has their textbooks at home, you can look on page 477 and it will have a chart just like this. I'm also going to show you another way that you can help organize it, and it seems to help kids over the years. So I'll go over to the whiteboard over here. Mrs. Lund will follow, she's videotaping. And I like to go from the smallest of the units that we're going to be talking about to the largest. So the smallest is inches. Above that would be feet, and I'm just going to abbreviate. Above that is yards, and above that is miles. Okay? And most of you should probably know how many inches are in a foot. 12 inches. How many feet are in a yard?
3.
There are 3. And you may not know, but again, from the chart, you can take a look. It's 1,760. There is 1,760, and I'll circle that, yards in a mile. All right? Then, the other thing I like to point out to kids is as you are measuring, what you are measuring doesn't change, just the unit that you're using. So, as you're going from a larger type of unit and converting it into a smaller type, again, the distance didn't change, but just the tool you're using does, so your measurement is going to get bigger. So as you're going down, you have to multiply. Okay? As you're going up, if you start at inches and you measure the same thing in, let's say, yards, well, you're going to need a lot smaller or a lot fewer of that particular tool to use it. So as you're going from a smaller unit up to a larger unit, you're going to divide by whatever number is in between. Okay? So we'll kind of put that into practice. All right. Lee is 5 feet tall. She must be 60 inches tall to ride one of the rides. Is she tall enough? Okay. Well, we're going from feet to inches. So if you remember the chart over on the side, if you're going from feet to inches, you're going down, so you would multiply. Okay? Something that's 5 feet is going to be a lot bigger number in inches. How much more? Well, you multiply by 12, so it's 12 times larger. Okay? They show it as adding a group of 12s, but since 1 foot equals 12 inches, multiply 5 times 12, and you'd end up with 60. So, Leah is tall enough to ride. All right. Tammy's little sister, Tia, is 3 feet tall. You must be 40 inches tall to ride one of the kiddie rides. Is Tia tall enough to ride? All right. We have several options here. First thing you have to do is convert her measurement, which is in feet. You have to convert it to inches. So, again, you're going from feet to inches. So you're going to a smaller type of measurement. You have to multiply. Multiply by 12, because there's 12 inches in a foot. 3 times 12 is 36. She must be 40 inches. So the first part you can rule out, C and D you can rule out because she's not going to be tall enough. And the reason would be no, because Tia is 36 inches tall. A fence is 240 inches long. How many feet long is this? Well, here we're going from inches up to feet. Whenever you go up in that one chart that I showed, you're going to divide by whatever number is in between. And again, in this case, you're going to divide by 12. So we're going from inches to feet. a smaller unit converted into a larger unit. So you would have to divide 240 by 12. Okay? 240 divided by 12 is 20. So 20 feet. The fence is 20 feet long. One thing that I didn't mention right away, for this whole chapter, I strongly encourage you to, especially for some of the more advanced questions, use your calculator. It's okay to use it and be able to figure them out. Our goal is for you to solve the problem and know how to solve it. If you can do the math mentally, that's great, and if you are struggling with it, go ahead and use your calculator for these. A fence is 360 inches long. How many feet long is it? Well, again, we're going from inches to feet. I'll see if it works for writing on. So I want to take, nope, it won't work for writing. So you would just simply divide 360 divided by 12, which ends up to be 30. Okay. Convert 8 feet to yards. So you're going from feet to yards. How many feet are in a yard? 3. And we're going from a lower one to a higher one, so we are going to be dividing. Now in this case, it's not going to work out mathematically perfectly, but they'll show you a couple of different options. Since you are changing a small unit to a large one, you would divide. Okay. 8 goes in there, so it would go in there 2 full times. That's how many yards you have. The remainder would be how many of the smaller unit you have left over, which in this case is feet. Okay. The remainder means, again, that there are 2 feet left over after you made 2 yards, 2 full groups of yards. Okay. So you end up with 2 yards and 2 feet. There's another way to show this as a fraction if you just want it in yards. Okay. So this is what we figured out before. 2 yards and 2 feet is over there. The remainder 2 means that there are 2 feet out of a yard left over. So since a yard is actually 3 feet, you have 2 of them. You just simply put down 2/3 of a yard. So that's the same answer. 2 and 2/3 is the same as saying 2 yards and 2 feet. And here's one more. 16 feet, 2 yards. Again, since we're dividing by 3, you'd see how many times 3 can go in there. It would go in there 5 times. I would write it, but I can't write on the board for some reason. It's not working right now. So it'd be 3 goes into 16. It goes in there 5 times, but there would be 1 left over. 1 foot would be remaining. All right. Hopefully that helped out a little bit. And again, feel free to use your book. We're going to send you also some links for IXL as we have been doing. Practice it, and feel free to use your calculator whenever you want to. Hope everybody is staying safe, and take care.